Hello, I'm Chris Richmond, and in this video I celebrate the life of my beloved Springer Spaniel, Max Bob. Oh, for the love of dogs. Man's best friend. Their love unconditional. Their energy and zest for life unmatched. I've spent most of my life around dogs. As some of you may remember, my other dog Dill passed away during the lockdown of 2020, reaching the grand old age of 14. Now, 6 years later here in 2026, dear old Max Bob is now the same age, and he's been gradually deteriorating for several months. We've gone from being able to go on exciting adventures to hobbling slowly around the village, and his ailments have finally caught up with him. Riddled with arthritis, irritable bowels and a benign burst cyst on his shoulder, it's time to say goodbye to dear old Bob. I'm making this film as a tribute to the 10 years and 7 months he's been by my side, whilst reminding myself I'm doing the right thing in saying goodbye. In the time he's been with me, he's been well looked after, and we've been all over the country together. Survived 2 house moves, a relationship breakdown, and the start of another, which saw him sharing the house with a pusscat. So, where did it all start? In late 2015, I'd had my first spaniel, Dill, for nearly 3 years, and she suffered with anxiety, both with other dogs and also when being left alone. My then partner and I decided to look for another dog to keep Dill company and see if it would help, as it seemed she could get on with some dogs once she got used to them. Then an advert appeared on social media from a local rescue centre called Faith at Hickling on the Norfolk Broads. Now, Faith specialise in rescuing ex-travellers' dogs from Ireland, and my mum had already adopted 2 lurchers from them. Little terrors. It was rare to see a spaniel on their site needing a home, so we jumped at the chance and went to meet him for a test walk with Dill, and they pretty much got along with no real problems. Like many dogs from Faith, Max did come from Ireland, and apparently had been a working dog, but that's all they knew. That, and that he was 4 years old. 2 weeks later, on the 1st of November 2015, I went back to collect him and bring him home, and the rest is history. Back then we lived in Wyton, and we used to do this massive 9-mile walk to Wells via Cuckoo Lodge, along the coast path and back through Warham. I remember we even did it during the Beast from the East, and Max got these massive snowballs in his fur between his back legs. There was also this rotten, stinky pond halfway between Wells and Warham, which he used to run off and swim in, and on the way back he'd pull rubbish out of the hedgerows. Once we got back to Wyton, I used to dip him in the river to wash him off before we got home. In 2017, the dogs first appeared in the local press, when their dog's bed in the boot of my car was hilariously mistaken as a dead body at the Fakenham Shell petrol station. It went viral, made the national news, and even Joe Wiley mentioned it on BBC Radio 2.
Today we learnt that actually you need to be quite careful what you put in your boots. 30-year-old Chris Richmond was fairly innocently just filling his car up with diesel at a Norfolk petrol station when a passerby noticed a bulky duvet stuffed into the back of his car. So this eagle-eyed member of the public thought that the badly folded duvet might actually be hiding a dead body, and promptly phoned the police. When the police arrived at Chris Richmond's house in Norfolk, they found no body in the boots, just a rather dishevelled dog's bed that had been bundled up into the back of the car. Well, that's vigilance for you, isn't it?
A year later, in 2018, we had to move from our home in Wyton thanks to an unfair Section 21 tenancy notice, and when the local press were running a feature on what was apparently a wider social issue, our pictures were featured again. Not long after the move, which was out in the middle of nowhere at West Raynham, I went through a breakup and found myself single-handedly looking after both dogs while still working hard as a bus driver. And actually, that was around the time this series of videos started. Oh dear. Oh, Mr. Bob dog. Look at this, look. In my newly found singledom, those dogs were an absolute godsend. Dill was a bit more hard work because of her barking. I actually ended up with a couple of notes posted through the door and had to keep the dogs away from the neighbour's side of the house. But we got through it, and it was so nice to come home at the end of the day to two waggy tails. It would have been very lonely without them. They gave me a sense of purpose and kept me in a routine, as well as got me out and about in the fresh air for some exercise, when I wasn't out ringing bells. I used to take them everywhere with me, dragging them out to bells practices, organ rallies, train spotting, and all over the country.
Dog walking and train spotting, what could possibly go wrong?
In 2019, we went to Wiltshire to see my sister, and did plenty of walking, found a creepy forest of monkey puzzle trees, climbed Clay Hill, and done Cheddar Gorge. In March 2020, we went back again and did Durdledore and the New Forest, but by then, dear old Dill was beginning to flag.
Come on, Dill. Poor little old thing, aren't you?
Then we all got locked in.
The nation is in a state of lockdown.
It was lucky I managed to get furlough from bus driving to stay at home and take care of poor old Dill in what became her final weeks, and she passed away in her sleep one night in early May. Then I was down to one dog. I guess that's better than no dogs at all, but it still really hurt at the time. The moment you opened the door, it was one less soul in the house. Anyhow, as the lockdowns eased and we were allowed to venture out again, Max, Bob and I would go exploring the local area, and we'd walk for miles. 15 I think was our longest. Of course now he was top dog, rather than second in the pecking order, and I spoilt him rotten. I'd often drive here to Castleacre, and we did the 6 or 7 mile circular walk to Westacre and back. The highlight was always Westacre Fords. It was funny how Bob always knew when we were nearly there. Right now he's going to go a bit bonkers now because he knows where he is. Come on, off you go. I would say this is Max Bob's favourite place apart from the beach. We'd also regularly go to Hunstanton in the evenings. If there was water, he was usually happy.
Yes. What?
Another favourite thing was his ability to sniff out hedgehogs late at night. We used to find loads on the airfield at West Raynham.
Oh, look, Max. What's that, look? What's that, look? What's that? Oh, it's a hedgehog. It's a hedgehog. You like hedgehogs, don't you? Yes, you love the hedgehog. Leave it. Leave it. Yes, well, you know, you love the hedgehogs. Yes. You've got to be nice to hedgehog.
Then there was Sausage Fridays, which began as a one-off treat, and I posted a video on social media, but it spiralled out of control because people loved it, and so I did it every week.
Nice. Yeah, good boy. Yes, we're going to go out and get your sausage now, aren't we?
There was a chip wagon that would come round to Raynham on a Friday, and I'd used to get myself fish and chips and order an extra sausage for the dog. Then I took a video of him enjoying his little treat.
Yeah, good boy. Yeah.
I think people loved seeing the simple joy between me and my dog in what was then quite a strange and uncertain time to be alive.
Yes.
And as time went on, I got more and more creative with it. I'd make him wait for it, hide it up around my house. I once put it inside my washing machine.
Right, now I'm going to be really mean this week.
Sometimes I'd even video it on location and tie it in with our evening walks.
Now I thought we'd do something a bit different. Actually on location at the wonderful Castleacre. He won't shut up, will he? What's this, look? It's a sausage. That'll shut you up, won't it? Wait. 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 Good. There we go. Yeah, good boy, Max.
Occasionally, if I was late home from work, Curtis, who ran the chip wagon, would have unwanted spare sausages sitting on the counter.
Two sausages.
And then he'd be really spoilt. and for his 9th birthday he got no less than a jumbo sausage, complete with candles.
Birthday this week. Oh, you good boy. You can't have it till blow the candles out. Woof. 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 Good boy. And again. And again, look. Woof. Woof. Ah, you're so excited, aren't you? Come on, I'll blow them out for you.
So where did the double-barreled name come from? Well, we all have nicknames for our pets, and Bob started off as a nickname because I used to know a little black cocker spaniel called Bob, or Bob-a-dog. Also, Bob is a term used in bell ringing, which is shouted by a conductor. Bob! I just didn't have the heart to change his name on paper after so many years, and thus the double-barreled name was born.
In early January 2022, I was doing some sound editing work on a new ITV drama set in Welwyn Garden City, and I decided to scope out some of the real-life locations around Welwyn and Letchworth and get a feeling of the atmosphere of the place. So I took Bob with me, jumped on a train, and we ended up walking about 6 or 7 miles, visiting the fountains and ending up in the Hedgehog pub, which was actually renamed The Angel in the series. There were some particularly interesting street fountains in Letchworth.
You're a funny dog, aren't you?
Fast forward a few months to August 2022, I met my new partner and she had a puss cat, which may have been a deal breaker, but surprisingly the animals took to each other quite well.
It's a secret meeting, aren't we?
It's strange how they communicated with each other, even though their body languages are completely different. They soon teamed up to play havoc at meal times. In 2023, we went on holiday to Northumberland and took Bob on a boat to see the Farne Islands. Then in June, I spent a week with my family up in the Lake District, taking him up some less challenging summits and to see some waterfalls.
Look at that sunset behind. Go on in, go get it.
We've been on days out to the Suffolk coast, took him on a rowing boat on the mere at Thorpe Ness, and our last proper holiday with him was in West Wales, where he brought back a stick from the beach at Poppet Sands, and that same stick is the one you see in my film about the A47, and he's taken it with him around the village for nearly 2 years now, the same stick, and it's been quite a topic of conversation in the village. I think the last proper adventure we had was when we went to see the seals at Horsey. He'd never seen so many seals before.
Yes. Can't go and see them though. No. Hey. Calm down.
But sadly, things have to come to an end. And whilst in his head he still wants to go, he can't get up very well, struggles to walk, and all of his ailments are now starting to take their toll. After making that dreaded phone call to the vets, and then postponing it by a week, I've decided to give him one last day to do all of the things he enjoyed.
Hello, Bob. Whoa. Yes, I know. Bob's last day.
This was just like a typical morning. Bob would bark, I'd get up, let him out for a wee, then he'd struggle to get back in over the doorstep, and I'd have to help him.
Oh, poor old boy. Yes, I know. You can't get up that step, can you?
He was still eating well though, albeit on a special diet to help his digestion and bowels.
Still eat well, don't you, Bob?
Once we were up and ready, I bunged him in the car, ready to take him on his final adventure.
We're in the car, ready to go on our last adventure, aren't we, Bobs? I'm going to take you some of your favourite places.
First on the list is Westacre Ford, as I know we can park pretty close, but this was a place we'd come to regularly.
All right. Most excited I've seen you for a little while. Where are we, Bobs? We've not been here for ages, have we? Oh. Used to come here a lot, didn't we, Bobs? Yes, we used to play with the sticks, didn't we? And the ball.
The fact he's not attempted to rush into the water is definitely a sign I'm doing the right thing.
Right, shall we go now? Come on. Come on.
It's a slow plod back to the car.
This is flipping horrible, this is. Poor old dog. That tells you it all, really, when he doesn't want to go for a swim anymore. But yes, this is only the first location on our last little adventure. Next, we're off to see my friend Mandy, who's not too far away up at Fakenham. Right, off we go.
As you may remember, my friend Mandy has been on a few little adventures with me over the years, and we'd go walking together during the latter part of the lockdowns, so Bob's been a small part of her life too, and it's only fair she gets to see him for one last time.
Who's this? Who's come to see you, look?
Oh, he really is. Oh, hello. Hello, Bob. He really is poorly now, isn't he? Oh, hello, gorgeous. I haven't seen you for a while. Are you fed up now? All tired with it all, aren't you? You old thing. I know. Here's a kiss then. Here's a kiss. Don't be shy. Come on. No, this is I don't want to.
Well, there weren't no way I was going to record that entire conversation, but yes, it's very, very sad seeing him like that. He's never had enthusiasm for the car, but particularly not today. Right, so next we're off to Wells for one last battered sausage and a quick look at Wells Quay, I think.
As we arrive at Wells, we're blessed with glorious sunshine, and whilst I'd normally be against paying the £6.50 for the premium of parking on the quayside, it was worth every penny, just to allow my dog his final treat at one of his favourite places.
It's like old times, isn't it, Bob? You missed that. I'll get it for the chipawks. What? What? You want sausages? You want sausages, don't you? It's like old times, this is, isn't it, Bobs? Sausages on location. Right, now, in the wise words of Keir Starmer, let's release the sausages. Ooh, look at the joy on this little dog's face. Look at that. One last sausage for Bobs. Yes, I know. Oh, you wouldn't think he's 14 years and 7 months. Happy with that, aren't you, Bobs? You've not been allowed sausages for months, have you? Yes, your guts aren't going to agree with that, but we won't have that worry anymore, will we, hey? Poor old dog. Poor old dog.
With time running out, I let Bob take the lead, and he heads straight towards the beach.
Poor old Bob. He still wants to take himself to the beach. What's the matter? Yes, you'll never make it down the beach now, will you, Bobs? No. Oh, this has really livened him up now. Oh, Bobs. I know. I know. Yes, this is why you are the way you are and why we've got to do what we do. Yes. Yes. Should we go back now?
Back to the car it is.
Here we are, Bobs. That's it for Wells now. We used to come here a lot, didn't we? Say bye, Bob. Boy. Right, we made it to the car, but that was a bit of a debacle getting back. Poor old Bob. He wants to go, but his body just doesn't let him anymore. His little back legs. Yeah, so we're running out of time now, so the next port of call really is gloomy Dereham Vets. So yes, we better go.
The vet's is 45 minutes away in Dereham, and he really doesn't want to go in.
Come on, Bobs. In you come.
I mean, the vets were really lovely. I thought I'd be able to hold myself together until the very end, but their niceness just broke me. At 17:46 he went under the needle, and within 10 seconds he was gone. They asked if I wanted to spend any more time with him, but I said, what's the point? His soul was gone. And now all I have left are memories and a little wooden box of his ashes. And I shall miss him. 10.5 years is a big part of anyone's life. But it's just not long enough. A dog's life is nowhere near long enough.
Watch out, dog reversing. No cow. Yes, go on, Bobs. Wait there. Oof, in he goes. What you got? What's that?
We're having a secret meeting, aren't we?
It's a big stick. We're going. You tell them moo cows off, look. What's this, look? It's a sausage. Oh, look. It's a dog on a spinny chair. Yes, pig. You're a big lap dog, aren't you? Yes, sir. It's funny how he knows what it is.
Happy birthday! Say, well done!
Ooh, what is it, Bob? It's chickens. Max, what's that, look? What's that, look? What's that? Oh, it's a hedgehog. Bob, what are you doing? Yes. You've never seen seals before, have you, Bob? Happy 14th birthday, Bob-Obs. What you got?
Now for the obligatory closing paragraph. If you enjoy my quirky, if slightly self-indulgent adventures, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate your support. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.